Well, here it is. First episode, pilot.
Yep. Very exciting.
Yeah, it's very exciting. So, I guess introductions as per, every pilot, right?
That's right.
I guess I can go first.
Yes.
My name is Ken Shibata. I work at Partners Consulting Group. We are an IT firm in Asheboro, North Carolina. I started working here last August as an intern as part of my school's internship program with local businesses. And thankfully, Derek and Scott were gracious enough to have me lend me this opportunity to come work here, unpaid for the fall semester. And then now I have moved into a part-time paid position, and I manage social media accounts and some marketing efforts, and I do some IT on the side, but this is pretty much it. This is the fruits of my labor. But yeah, I will be your host. All right, quick interruption. It has changed a little bit, and I will not be the main host of this show. It is much better for my schedule because I am attending the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill this fall, and scheduling kind of tends to be quite difficult with full-time college student. So we will have a rotating host schedule that is to be determined, but that is what you'll see throughout the show. For the first couple episodes, it'll be me as we get this whole production thing figured out with schedules and who and where and when and why. And obviously, I handle all the behind the scenes. Obviously, we're empty right now. There's no one here. It's just me talking. But yeah, so to look to the future, do not expect me to be here as much as I would love to be the main host of this show. Time-wise, it doesn't really work out for me. I'm about to graduate high school, and I will not be here for a month. I will be on vacation. So, yes, just keep an eye for that. Back to the main show. Partners is in progress. So
Ken, tell everybody how old you are.
I'm 18 years old. I was, 17 when I started here.
All right. And where are you going to school in the fall?
UNC Chapel Hill.
Very exciting.
It's very exciting. Fall semester is about to be. So, yeah.
And everyone here at Partners is impressed with Ken. You're excellent. Your video editing skills, setting all this up is just extremely impressive, and we thank you.
It's been fun.
Yeah, we want to. When you go to school, we want to stay in touch.
Yes.
We're going to keep working together.
That's my plan.
Yeah. We got to increase your salary to keep you keep you around. So my name is Scott Eggleston. I'm an attorney in Asheboro. I have a law firm of Ivy and Eggleston. I also own Partners. Also, there's an event center in Asheboro, 105 Worth Event Center. But I'm 50 years old. I've got 3 kids and a wife, Leah. I live in Randleman. Been in Asheboro since 2007. My wife is from Asheboro. That's how I ended up down here. Originally from Virginia Beach. I went to the University of Richmond for law school and met my wife there in Richmond and moved down here. And I'm North Carolinian now. So my practice focus mainly in estate administration and estate planning. We do wills and trusts, and then after somebody passes away, we help people settle estates and trusts. And then Partners was founded about 6 years ago, and we've been growing steadily ever since. And this is our next venture, this social media side of things and this podcast. And I'm very excited about it. So, Derek?
Huge. My name is Derek Draper. I'm a general manager here at Partners. I started out here on the IT side of production as a systems engineer. A little bit more about me. I am 27. I'm UNC status now. So I started my career at Charter Communications. I was there for 3 years. I've done tons of things throughout my career, but prior to this, I worked for a pharmaceutical company. And I've been here at Partners for 3 years. So it's been a long ride. I'm originally from Eden. Most people have no clue where Eden's at, but I'm from Eden, North Carolina, yeah. And then I ended up moving to Greensboro, where I've been for the last 7 years. And I've only known Asheboro for the last 3 years, since I've started working. So that's a little bit about me.
Derek, tell people about your other hobby.
Oh, dude.
He has a hobby.
Yeah. So I'm very much into cars, almost a little bit too much. I'm big Subaru guy, big BMW guy.
Unreliable kings.
Unreliable king, dude. Yeah, king of
Unreliable.
unreliable vehicles. That's me. It started off as just a hobby, but now we're in the parts, retail side of things. And we also are working on a giveaway car. That's something we've been working on. And even at the same time, when Partners is doing this social media thing, like we're still having to learn how automotive media works at the same time, because it's different beast. Same thing, just different beast, and how it all works. It is a different flavor, right? So, it's very interesting, because like we do this here, we're taking this big leap here, but at home we're still also trying to overcome this thing.
That's good.
So
Okay. So kind of the name, we chose Partners in Progress because this is a learning venture. Obviously, we've never done this before. This is very new to all of us. This is new to me. And as your host, I'm obviously also very young. I'm not exactly the most experienced person in the world. So being able to be on here and learn with y'all is kind of the goal of this podcast and what we would like to do. So what exactly is our plan with this? We would like to focus on small businesses here in Ashburn, North Carolina, and really dig deep into the how and why of each business. But listeners should expect stories, advice, and real experiences from people in Ashboro. So I guess a question to get us started is what makes Ashboro worth highlighting? What's so special about the small town of 30,000 people?
Yeah, I also want to mention, we've been doing some social media posts, and we've been doing videos where Caleb in the office eats food, the mukbang Wednesdays, and it's had a really good reception. But it's also, the fun part about it is like we partnered with a local restaurant, Blake's Half Baked, and they made a sandwich with his name on it, and he ate it on camera. And so it's kind of building this community with the businesses around town, which I think is just, it's fun, getting the public to learn about these businesses and learn about our business, but also building this community with everybody. And hopefully we can use it to support, not just small businesses, but we'll have community leaders and other people around Ashboro, find out what's going on with Ashboro and what different businesses are doing here as well. I've been here, so like I said, 2007 when I moved. Downtown Ashboro was a ghost town when I moved here.
Really? How many years ago?
2007.
2000. So when I was born, 18 years
holy
ago.
dude, that's a long
It was
time.
absolutely.
So this wasn't here?
No.
Almost 20
This
years.
is new. I thought this was been here for
So
a
the
little
farmers market was here. There was this restaurant downstairs. It was a different restaurant, but the table wasn't here. The coffee shop, all that stuff.
So it was kind of like there was kind of nothing here.
Alcohol. 2008 is when they voted
was a
to
dry
legalize Dry City. And Dry County. But yeah, it completely changed the town. We got Four Saints. We've got a lot more restaurants than we used to have. Hamilton's. I mean, it just the whole downtown is an active scene now. I mean, just the table alone, it's really amazing. Any day of the week you drive by, if the weather's nice, there's people out there.
Parking in here.
Yeah.
People.
And so it's really, it's come a long way in those 18 years. And I think there's going to be a lot more growth because of all the economic activity and the job growth with, Toyota and things at the Greensboro and a lot of different industries that are expanding in this area. So I think it's going to continue to change and be shaped in different ways. And there's a lot of opportunities downtown. At McMurray mill there that is like right in the middle of downtown. The city has plans, and I guess they're working on them now, but they've got a company that's going to come in and develop it, and it's supposed to be multi-use with like apartments and businesses, and that's a huge building. I think the only problem they have is parking. They haven't quite figured out where in the world everybody's going to park. But I think the town's just going to
kind of grow with the town.
Absolutely, and I think it's going to be another 18 years, it's going to be a lot different than it is today. So I'm excited about that. Progress is cool.
It is very interesting from my perspective because I've only been here for 3 years. And, before I started coming to Ashboro, a lot of people that I knew only talked about the zoo. And it was like, Ashboro, the zoo. Yeah. You're like, oh, so the place with the zoo is Ashboro Zoo. Yeah. You're like, yeah, Ashboro. But now it's starting to become like a lot more known to other people outside of just people that come for the zoo. And as the zoo's also expanding, and they're working on what is it? Is Asia? That's
Asia section's
set
about to open, I think. Yeah.
I think that'll do nothing but help Asheboro even more. I do see like parking becoming a huge problem with downtown Asheboro, because
Absolutely.
with all the buildings that are already pre-existing here, they're already fighting against that.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to pick, because you're gonna have to pick one or the other. Something's gonna have to go.
Yeah, they have to tear something down
yeah.
because there's no other room.
There's nowhere for anybody to park. But I mean, other than that, I mean, honestly, in the last 3 years, Asheboro's a great place. I can honestly say in the last 3 years, I've learned that like I could easily live here. I would actually enjoy it. I wouldn't mind living in Randolph County at all. I just think that people aren't aware of what it has to offer. And talking more about the podcast too, is that, and social media, our take on it has been, as people in IT, we tend to be very like to ourselves, and not very outspoken. That's the type of person you tend to see in these types of businesses, and we're trying to break the mold on that, and learn how to get out, like crawl out of our shells every once in a while.
Yeah.
And I think that was one of the important things about bringing industry leaders in, and getting to know our community a lot more, because it does nothing but also help us as individuals. So it's been a lot of work. I don't think people on the outside may not realize how much work it takes to kind of plan and like figure this all out. It has been a crazy process, but watching it like grow from just an idea at a table to something where we're actually sitting here.
Yeah. It's been crazy. I think so. Originally, when I came here to like start looking for an internship for my senior year, I'm a senior, by the way. I graduate in I think tomorrow's May 1st, so 30 days. I graduate in 30 days.
Nice.
But last May, around this time, I came to interview for an internship program, but I applied for both the IT part of it, and our previous marketing director, Andrea, was here, marketing with her, and I came for those two, but I ended up not talking to the IT person at the time, and then I came here, I interviewed for marketing, and then come fall, I'm doing all IT, and then come spring, it's kind of shifted a little bit, and I started managing the social media a little more, and then now it's I'm deep into the realm of content creation and management, and because of that, I have been able to, with your guys' support, start kind of figuring out how we can do this whole social media thing and how we can start this podcast and start talking about cool things that are happening in Asheboro, right here in the middle of downtown Asheboro, smack where everything else is.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, I'm excited. So, and I guess that pivots us into a good segue. Who we plan on bringing on. So obviously I will be your guys' host. Where Derek is sitting will be where our usual co-host will be. That'll be on rotation. Scott is currently in the guest hot seat, but that will change. Scott will be in our guest co-host rotation. But as for guests, what were we thinking? We're thinking of obviously people in Asheboro, business leaders.
So I think, we talked about Adam from the Chamber of Commerce. I don't even know his last name. But
Adam Death.
Is it Death?
Yeah, Death, yeah.
So we're going to have him come, talk about Chamber of Commerce. And I was working on a list because I mean, we got a lot of opportunities, a lot of different, interesting folks. But I was on my list, I had Joel McCloskey. He's one of the guys that founded Four Saints. And he's a lot of these guys are in my Rotary group.
Is he Mid-State?
Yeah.
I think I went to that meeting. Yeah, I think I met him. He was cool.
We forgot one important thing.
What?
To mention that we're missing a sign.
Oh, yeah.
Next week there will be a sign.
Next
time there will be a sign.
Next week there will be a sign. It's currently a work in progress. I'm going to throw it right above Scott and Derek's head right now. It's supposed to be right there. We have a logo. But continue.
So Aaron Woody, who is the superintendent of Asheboro City Schools, I'm the school board attorney, and so I haven't talked to him about that, but I think he would be interested. Michael Trogdon, he was for a long time he managed or was the director of my My Daily Bread, the soup kitchen in Asheboro.
Yeah.
And I believe he's at First Baptist. But he has his pulse on kind of what's going on in Asheboro from a cultural, social standpoint. And I thought he'd be really interesting to talk with. Julie Fowler from the Partnership for Kids.
Dude. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Albert,
I think
Shout out
Julie would like this.
Yeah, shout out Julie, man.
Yeah.
I think she would like it. That would be interesting, especially like on the nonprofit side of things. I think it's very important for the awareness behind nonprofits because, of where they stand. And I think bringing awareness to all the nonprofits
And their challenges are very different than companies here in Asheboro.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
that might be a good different viewpoint. And same with the superintendent. School systems are hard to run.
Yep.
Same with nonprofits. So I think that might
Especially
give us
when the state
good
doesn't have
variety.
an approved budget.
Yeah.
Makes it very
Yeah,
challenging
it does
for
make it
them.
challenging.
Yeah. And I made this list, I think, when I was at Mid-State Rotary, because it's like everybody on my Rotary list.
Yeah.
But Mac Pugh, who was one of the
Pugh
owners
Funeral
of Pugh Funeral Homes. Skip Hillslop. I think that's how you pronounce his name. But he works for Cone, and he manages that new facility that Cone built up. Can't remember what road it's off of, but not Spiro. Maybe it's Spiro, but whatever. But he came and talked at Rotary, and I thought it was really interesting getting his perspective on healthcare and what's going on in the community. And Albert Lassiter, he used to be the plant manager at Goodyear, and then he's had different roles. I think he was at RCC for a while. And he's been in some different organizations. So I thought he'd be
people that are in the
interesting.
community and very involved.
Yes,
That sounds
yes.
really good. Yeah.
Yes.
And that is our goal, to have those sorts of people on this show and have them just kind of speak about their experiences, how they got there, and really give them a chance to educate, I guess, this audience, me as well. I'm obviously, I don't know about half of those people. I mean, I know of them, but I don't know them. So this would be a really cool opportunity for me as well to be able to get to know them as well. So.
Yeah, and that's just the start. I mean, I'm sure we'll put our heads
Tons
together.
It'll grow from there.
We'll have more than
exactly.
we need, and we'll have to prioritize. And one of the privileges I've got in my job is I meet with clients and I talk with people, all day long, and it's one of the things I enjoy the most about my job. Sometimes I get distracted and I end up just having conversations with them, but it is fun. It's fun to talk to people and learn their life story, their perspective.
And a lot of these
going
conversations happen as they're they could happen right here.
Exactly.
But they don't. So again, the great thing about this is that we're able to capture that and then get it out to the world and show people's unique stories. People often have, or especially entrepreneurs and business leaders, they have unique stories of how they got to where they got. So just really cool to get to hear those things.
Yeah. That's one of the things I was going to talk a little bit about how I got started here in Asheboro, because it's a pretty good story, and I can give a shout out to a local realtor who helped me out. But in 2004, I graduated from law school, and I took the bar in Virginia, where I was and had planned on living until I met my wife. And then we got engaged. In the term of our engagement, I had to take the North Carolina bar. So I took the North Carolina bar in February, and fortunately I passed both. And I got a job with a title insurance company, and this was 2005, 2006 timeframe. And real estate was booming. It was before 2008. And I worked at an office in Chesterfield, Virginia, just south of Richmond. And then they had an office in Charlotte. It was like the 5th or 6th largest title insurance company in the country. And I convinced them to let me move down to Charlotte and work from Charlotte. And I did that for a while. And then we bought a house in Huntersville. And then we ended up buying a house in Asheboro. And I was kind of working remotely for a little while. And part of my job was sales for one of the services that we provided. And I was in Asheboro, and I went and talked with H.R. Gallimore, and I was kind of selling him a little bit. And he, out of the blue, said, "You need to go talk to Bill Ivey." And I was like, "Well, why do I need to talk to Bill Ivey?" And he said, Bill had a young associate that's left, and I think he may be looking for somebody. And I wasn't asking for a job. I didn't tell HR that I needed a job. But I did. I walked from his office all the way down, Fayetteville Street to Bill Ivey's office. and introduced myself, had an interview a couple days later, and then I started with Bill in February of 2008.
Oh no.
6 months later,
Oh,
that
dude.
title insurance company that I worked for went out of business.
Ooh,
They
wow.
were done, and I had friends that worked there that were out of work for years
lucky
because
man.
a title
Dodge a
attorney after
bullet.
2008 could not find a job. And so I got very, very lucky. And when I originally started, I started with real estate closings. I kind of just learned it from the ground up. So there were a couple paralegals there that helped me, and I developed that practice, and it got bigger and bigger and bigger. Post 2008, it was it just basically started from scratch, and it just kept growing and growing and growing. And the real estate, it's been good, and it's stayed steady in town the whole time. So developed that practice, and then in 22 I got out, and now I just do the estate planning and wills and trust and estate administration. But I got to thank HR because he made that recommendation. I took him up on it. It's funny because if you ever meet HR, he's
Who's HR?
HR Gallimore. He's a commercial real estate broker in town. His wife is Vicky Gallimore. They own the Remax.
Yeah.
And if you ask any attorney in town, HR has probably said to them, "Well, I'm no attorney, but," and he'll tell you his advice. And I've taken his advice twice, probably more than that, but twice that I can remember. But when he told me to walk down and talk to Bill, and then he also told me, he said, "Your attorneys never advertise." And you don't have a sign. Nobody knows where you are. So that's one of the things. I put a big Ivy and Eggleston on the first floor of my building.
105 or right next to 105.
Yeah.
And the billboard.
Yeah.
Can't forget about the billboard.
I did billboards for a little while.
Where's the billboard?
I used to up on 220 or 73, 74.
On the big road?
Close to Greensboro where there's the digital one.
Oh.
Yeah.
I drove by it and saw it one day.
I've never seen that before.
Yeah. We stopped doing it, but I did it for a little while. Yeah. Advertising like that, it's kind of like a brand awareness. We're not having
clients, but it's like getting your name
we're not
out
having
there.
a mattress sale on Saturday that everybody's going to show up.
Yeah,
So-
but it's one of those things where if you've already know of him, it's like, oh, it's like the Bucky sign.
Sticks in your mind.
Yeah.
The Bucky signs are designed in a way where it doesn't precisely tell you where
Where it
Bucky's is,
But there's a
but
Bucky
you already
somewhere.
know
But
exactly
you know
where.
what Bucky is.
But it
Bucky's
just keeps
is.
it in the back of your mind. So
Yeah.
every couple miles you see that Bucky sign, you're like,
I want to go.
you're right. So that when you finally do see it, you're like, I gotta go.
I've been to
Now,
a Bucky's one time.
Have y'all ever driven 95 down to Florida or back?
Yes.
I've never been
south
all the
of
way down to Florida.
south of the border.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing. Is the
Yeah.
Bucky's before Bucky's, and
Yeah,
they would
south
have
of the border.
the billboards. I mean,
I think people don't give south of the border enough credit. I'm going to be honest. I don't think they do. But before they were the Bucky's before Bucky's. Though.
yeah.
I mean, at least in my
absolutely.
eyes.
Yeah.
Bucky's is like they're opening one near my house,
Burlington.
Oh, they
Yeah.
are, aren't they? I saw
Yeah,
that.
buddy.
Oh,
Have
my
they started
goodness.
developing it yet?
I think they have.
I think they started flattening.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
they've
I don't know if
started.
they've started building yet, but
Yeah, I don't know about that. I know it's going to take forever.
yeah,
though.
absolutely. And there's one that's being built like I don't know if it's on 85 or like all the way up to towards Richmond. Like,
200 gas
on the
pumps. I
the
think.
Greensboro kind
yeah.
of or not Greensboro,
That's
the
ridiculous.
85 or whatever. But
It's Bucky's is like one of those weird, like organizations
it's
that
a
like
Costco of gas stations.
it's like
It's so
yeah,
weird.
it is, but
It's like a tourist
it's
attraction,
unique. It's
gas
almost such-
station,
It's kinda
retail
culty.
location.
Like,
Oh
Bucky's
yeah,
people are very Bucky's oriented.
this is very true.
Yeah.
Where's Brisket on the
That's what I was
you
watching
know?
a video of a grand opening, and it was like they had people lined up at the door, and they like ran in when they opened the door.
rushed in.
Gas station food.
For a gas
That's
station.
ridiculous.
It is kind of
It's like a cult following behind Bucky's that I will be honest, I'm a part of. But it's a crazy thought. And I think they started in Texas, I think.
Yeah, it's a Texas chain.
That's a Texas thing. Everything's bigger in Texas, right? So
Exactly.
that's why they need 200 gas pumps.
yeah.
Yep.
I think they are the biggest gas station.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, they've got to be.
That's
There's,
insane.
I think there's a couple out Midwest
That might
like
compete
that are,
in that.
yeah, but they only have like one location and it's giant.
Pilot has nothing on them. What's the other one? There's
Yeah.
Pilot and
Lion,
yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's
Yeah.
that one. Those are the
Those-
only ones
those-
that are even close.
the truck stops.
Truck stops, yeah. But
We got off track.
Yeah, no, I'm just
Classic.
looking. So, I mean, we got through most of our talking points. Obviously, we want entrepreneurs and business owners, but what's next? Where is the future of this show?
Yeah.
Where is it at? Like, I have in my notes here. A format will mostly be this kind of thing, with kind of an interviewee, more of a conversational, kind of couch sitting.
We had a lot
interview.
of information we had to get out on this one, so it was less conversating.
Yeah.
More like we need to make sure they get the data. People, the
Yeah,
people need
that's,
to know.
That's why I have this many talking
Yeah.
points. This is important stuff.
Yeah.
People, you guys should know kind of what's going on. Long-term vision. We hope this will spread as far as it can spread. We eventually want people outside of Asheboro to listen to this show, watch the show, and kind of get a taste of what Asheboro is like. Obviously, Asheboro is a very special place, and like Scott said, some people or a lot of people maybe just don't know how cool it really is and like how special it is, I guess.
Yeah.
And
One of the things, the Chamber of Commerce has this Leadership Randolph program, and I've never done it, but everybody that's done it tells me they, people that have lived here their whole lives, they do this program. They're like, I had no idea that all this was going on in Randolph County and in Asheboro. And so hopefully like we can kind of do that. That'd be a good goal. It's like, let's find all these businesses and bring them to light, and give them some attention, and also just let other people in town know what's going on.
I think that is something a lot of businesses around here lack, is a media presence. And obviously restaurants and stuff are pretty strong in that regard because they kind of have to be. But a lot of the other businesses, I mean, before you guys had a marketing person doing marketing stuff, it was kind of hard, especially as a law firm or especially as real estate firms here in Asheboro, that lack a real digital presence. And we're hoping this can also maybe facilitate that if they want to start their own thing, their own media programs.
Encourage them.
We can
to
encourage
do so.
them. And there's just an endless possibility of things that can happen as a result of this, and that's something that we want to talk
So,
about.
Ken, I want to put you on the hot seat because I've been thinking about. I think it'd be great for you to interview your parents.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. Well, one, I'm sure they're super proud of you,
Yeah.
and I think you're probably very proud of them. And I think they probably have a fascinating story.
Absolutely, yeah.
From where they grew up to how they've got here, and then their life here. And I just think it'd be cute for you to interview your parents. I think it'd be sweet.
That would
and
be pretty fun.
Yeah, I think people would like it. I think I'd like it.
I would love it. And I think a lot of people I think that comes back to Randolph County and the pottery.
Yes.
And I've learned so much about it just from talking to you about your parents. And I think a lot of people would love to know
my
that.
parents are potters, by the way. They do pottery. Just to preface this, just to make sure you guys know. But yeah, they're from Japan. They do pottery. But yeah,
So I think a lot of people would also find it very interesting.
Absolutely.
Because I think for the history that it has in the county, I think that would be awesome to talk about. And I'm sure people within that industry would appreciate the light being shined on their hard work and all the years and years of effort. Yeah.
Seagrove is actually the town. It's at the very southern border of Randolph County. That's where pottery's had 400 years of history. They have a little Potters Association. It's called SAPA, Seagrove Area Pottery Association or something like that. Their media presence and their website are not great. So that might be something they want to look for. But yeah,
Your dad has a great social media presence.
Yes,
though.
my dad has 96,000 followers on Instagram.
Yeah,
Does he really? I didn't realize that.
dude.
That's cool.
Yeah, he
His
gets a
dad
good
is
amount of
famous.
I gotta look him. You
He
gotta
is
give me his
kind of
info.
famous. I'll show you later.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'll ask. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Really
And then I was also thinking, we cut up clips of this and stuff. I think we should encourage the audience to tell us, who do you want us to talk to? What guests do you want?
And if you want-
cool things. Yeah.
If you know anyone or you yourself would like to be on the podcast, please email Ken.
Yes. Email me, and we will have a discussion, and we can see if we can get you guys on the show. Obviously, we can't let everyone on the show, but if you fit the criteria, absolutely, please contact me. It will be on the website. It'll be under marketing or something.
Or you can just tell them. What's your
Or
email?
my email is kshibata, KSHIBATA, @partnerscg.com. Email me, and we can see what we can work out. So
How long we been running?
we have been running for 28 minutes, so we're good on time.
All right, good.
Dude, huge.
Yeah, one of the things, I don't know why I'm thinking about this, but when I was practicing here, had my law firm, been here for, maybe 10, 12 years. And restaurants get a lot of attention. next to my office, there used to be Bia's. It was a really fine dining restaurant. It was really well known. And it'd be funny because people would be telling people where my office is. And my office has been, Bill Ivey was there 40 years,
You're beside Beats, right?
Yeah. And it would drive me crazy because people know the restaurant. They don't know the law firm that's been there forever. But like with the table, after the table opened, like I would be outside of Randolph County, and I would say I'm from Asheboro, and people would go, "Oh, the table!" Like
their media presence
is
huge,
and people come from all over to go there.
Is that why it's so?
Yeah, did you know that?
You see, I'm a car nut, so there's days where you come to our office and you see Huracans. You look outside of our office, and there's Huracans. Porsche 911s.
Okay, I've never seen one of those outside our office.
Urus's, it's insane. And we're like, where are these people coming from? And then you realize they're eating at the table. Yeah. And they're probably from Charlotte or somewhere else. Coming just to eat here. And it's funny you mention that because we'll meet with potential clients or people that may not know where we're located because that's where our office is located at because unless you see the signage on the street, you have no clue we're here. Mm-hmm. Oftentimes I say, yeah, we're right across the street from the table. And they're like, oh, I know exactly where that's at. Or we'll mention Positanos. Shout out Positanos.
Yeah, shout out Positanos. Positanos is our
our
neighbor. It's
number one caterers.
Yes. They make very good ravioli. I like the smoked chicken ravioli is my favorite.
But it is very interesting how you talk about the restaurants, and I think that's just it's because I don't know if it's because there's a natural draw to food on social media.
Yeah,
I think so.
And when you own a restaurant, it's hard to in this modern age bring attention to your restaurant without that presence. I give it to the businesses that are here, David's and all these restaurants that have been here and able to stay up and going and prosper without social media presences. Mm-hmm. Your food has to be pretty good for you to be prospering in this day and age without social media. Yep. That blows my mind, but I think there's a lot of potential with some of the businesses and
I think the thing with that though is every restaurant is person to person, business to customer. It's a very customer oriented thing. Mm-hmm. Whereas, law firm, or I guess maybe not law firms, but especially with our business partners is we're B2B, or business to business, which makes it harder to kind of have that online presence without doing anything special. Whereas a restaurant, not to hate on any restaurants, but a lot of the times they post about their food and their upcoming menus and stuff. So it's a little more convenient for them to be able to post things and then have attention and stuff. Whereas, we post a picture of a computer, it's like, okay, cool.
And I think that comes back to us in social media, where the hurdles we face are, relating to our customers. Yeah. Because when we do our content, it's very techie and sometimes boring to someone who's not within this industry. But you also have to realize that our niche and the people we are trying to reach don't care about the specs of this laptop.
Yeah.
So when we were how are we gonna, with things that we're gonna cover and talk about in our podcast, it has to make sense, right? Because we don't want to come on here and talk about tech news all the time. Yeah.
It's just not the focus of this podcast.
Listen.
No one's going to care.
no one's going to care.
No one is going to care.
Yeah.
So, seeing it's had to evolve to get to this point. Yeah. And I think everything just fell into place to where it just lines up.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what I think, it's just one, let's talk about the reason we want to do it. Obviously we want to get eyeballs on partners. We want to get more clients. There's no doubt about that. But absolutely. This is just cool. This is going to be fun. We're going to be able to engage and have good conversations and get people in the community. Hopefully, to build more community and help other people in the community get recognized and known as well. And so.
If you do have any IT troubles, we are also here.
Just saying.
That's not going to be the focus of this podcast. This is business-oriented entrepreneurship in Asheboro.
But if you need IT services,
we're right there. This is our other office. We're right across from the table. There.
Cut to a commercial with it.
Yeah, commercial right here. But so I don't know. I'm really excited. I'm really grateful that I get to do this, and
I think it's gonna be really cool. For people on the outside, the plan is we're trying to find a potential intern to work under Ken to help him with filming. You want
Yes.
to talk about that a little bit?
Yes. So, I mean, this isn't anything crazy. When I started here, it was very intern stuff. Like it was very like, I got desk, I got my like
Company
email and
laptop,
everything,
email.
my laptop and everything, and I logged in. I did I'm still doing, but my certification course. So it was very like not crazy level of work. So as I kind of moved into doing more and more things with the media side, it's kind of gotten more. But it would be nice, and I know we talked about this. I'm going to be enrolled at UNC Chapel Hill starting this fall. So I will a lot of the times not be here on a day-to-day basis. So having an intern that's willing to be here mostly in a self-sufficient role, work under me, handle this post-production stuff. You guys can't see it, but all of the production stuff is to my right. In fact, this mic right here is attached to the table where literally everything is. But just someone that can handle this and handle being here on a day-to-day basis, interacting with the rest of the guys in the office, whether that be Chris and Caleb or Pat or Austin or whoever, and just learn a little bit about IT, but mostly on the marketing side where you're, properly reminding them, hey, go take pictures in the thing. Hey, can I come with you to this project and take videos and coordinate with me with the podcast and I don't know, make this marketing thing kind of work. That would be unpaid for
That's right.
that foreseeable future until obviously it is proven that you fit this role and you're good for it. But that is something that we might be looking for. So if you do, please reach out.
Ken's at URE Charter, and so I think you've
I'm
already
at UR
talked.
Charter Academy.
We got to talk about your charter.
Oh, I guess I did. I guess I said
should talk
school
about-
earlier.
Yeah, we got to talk about your charter.
So UR Charter, I've been enrolled at UR Charter Academy since middle school. 5th grade is when I got to UR. I've been there since then, so 7 years now. I'm a senior in high school, about to graduate. Public charter school, so we're technically, I don't remember what it's called, Title I or publicly funded by the state. But also we have a lot of things that are a lot nicer than public schools. If I'm being quite frankly honest, I'm not going to say that we have it worse than anyone else.
Careful. I'm the school board attorney for Especially schools. Yeah.
So we definitely have some perks. We have a very nice school now. We had a new high school building. It's huge. It's almost like a community college campus, honestly. But yeah, it's nice because as a charter school, we have a little bit more flexibility with our curriculum, and because of that, UORI was able to start their high school internship program under Mr. Green. Mr.
Shout out
Green's
to Mr.
great.
Green.
Shout out Mr. Green.
Yeah.
How many interns have we had?
Our relationship with your charter
With UR.
started about 2 years ago. And Mr. Green has kind of, completely quarterbacked that for them and has, led the way and pretty much designing and implementing the entire internship program at URA Charter from the very beginning. And he's brought us, I think Ken is our third intern. I believe it's third.
I think so.
Third.
Yeah.
Our third intern. Our first 2 interns were great kids, and we continued to be a part of the program, and we still are now. If anyone is watching from your charter and you're interested in interning at an IT company, please let Mr. Green know, especially if you're into marketing. But it's been a great program. Especially for local kids, and I always tell our interns that, when I was your age, I know I sound like very old when I say that, but I would have loved to have like the opportunity to have my foot in the door at a place where I would consider a career. I've spent most of my life working, like I said, I worked at Charter Communications for 3 years. I applied there for the first time and didn't get hired. I worked at CVS for a year until I could reapply, just in hopes that I got that job. So, for me, it was like, I fought to get my foot in the door. But the fact that we are able to then go and offer that to kids that are about to go to college, like in high school, is huge. And they should take full advantage of that. Because, I just think it's one of those things where they may not understand, at that point in your life, like what it looks like in the real world, like how opportunities like this don't come easy. But, for us, it's just, I'm happy to say that we can do that for someone else. So, yeah, I mean, it's been great. I think, the kids that we've had so far have been awesome. They've been really good kids. They've went on to do something else now. But we're hope to bring more people in and bring more schools on
That's
board.
a great thing.
What would be great with the next intern if we could find somebody, someone like you that has interest already and maybe even has done some of this stuff. Because I think for a lot of kids, social media influencer is one of the top job prospects that they want.
True,
So
but there's a lot more to it than you think. I didn't come out the womb knowing how to do this stuff. It's hard.
It is so hard.
Yeah.
And it's a testament to, like, behind the scenes, people don't understand how much time goes into this. And, it's been a crazy process because we are learning at the same rate as Ken, and he knows a lot more than us, but we are both learning. Everyone here is all learning about this at the same time.
That's why it's Partners in Progress.
Right.
Flick up the sign. I'll put it up there here in a moment.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, right there.
And and for us, it's usually interns come in, and it's easy because we're teaching them things we already know.
It's about IT.
But now it's like we're teaching you something we don't know.
He's teaching us.
He's teaching us. Even.
I'm learning and teaching and getting taught at the same time. But it's been a wild ride. It's been super, super fun, I think. So,
And I think a cool thing about this is being able to show people the cool things we do.
Yeah.
I think people just don't understand. People think IT is boring all the time. I mean, tickets are not always the most enjoyable thing to do, but I feel like we get the opportunity to work on some amazing projects.
Absolutely,
and, we've recently done an entire wiring project for High Point Christian Academy. A lot of people would not know that, unless we were more active in social media and we had, a presence online, people wouldn't know the types of cool things we get to do and what it takes to do our job.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, bringing that to light has also been one of the goals with being more active on social media is, showing kids and possible, future IT employees that, IT isn't about boring desk job all the time. You can have fun. You can do cool things. And we've always had like a great atmosphere in our office. And I think I
think that also lends
fits.
itself back to the location. We're not in a depressing, drab office.
Yeah, we are
this building that we are in is super cool.
What's the history on this building?
Yeah, it's in the middle of downtown
I
Asheboro.
do not know, to be honest with you.
You don't know?
Yeah, we have to find out. Well,
It was like a
JB
cotton mill?
Davis, we need to put him on our list.
Yeah, JB Davis on here.
Yeah, we'll get JB
He
Davis in
owns
here,
this
and he
building.
can tell us all about it.
Yeah, that'd
Yeah.
be great. Because our office, if any of you have ever been here, is the most interesting office that I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds
It's
you of
so
a studio
rustic.
apartment
Yeah.
/ like.
But like if it was a studio apartment, it'd be ridiculously like bougie, like fancy. Unfortunately, it has turned into our IT office, and a lot of the times it's a mess. Although, shout out to Chris, Caleb, Patrick, they cleaned the office yesterday.
Completely.
It looks amazing now, but it didn't look good the other day. It was bad.
And through all the changes that, we went through, in the very beginning, it was like, are we going to stay in Asheboro? Are we going to stay in Asheboro? But like, I couldn't imagine not. You know what I mean? Like, where would we go that would be this? Nothing would feel the same.
Yeah.
You think about Greensboro, and, we talk about this a lot when it comes to us in offering services. It's like, we service like a very interesting county because, you go to Greensboro, you go to Charlotte, everything's so fast paced and everyone is, there's tons of IT companies, there's tons of business, but here we have the opportunity to help a lot of people that often get left in the shadows. A lot of the businesses in Troy, Montgomery County, a lot of the business here in Randolph County, IT companies tend to grow, get acquired by larger companies, leave the area. And often they lack more than, those bigger areas because there are tons of IT companies. You can find 10, 15 just by a simple Google search, but being able to offer what we offer here and provide it to those small towns like Troy, Albemarle, and places like that, I think have been, huge for us.
That's also the benefit of us and this and social media and everything. We are people at the end of the day, and we are not a big company. We're 6 people, including me. So not including, the marketing, it's 5 people that do IT. And we all have faces, we all have personalities, and being able to show that here and on social media really
It's very important.
It's very important, especially to the people that, maybe don't like the idea of having a multi-million-dollar IT corporation run their computers and charge them God knows what for God knows what.
Yeah. That's why
Yeah.
I think we're in a nice niche because one of the things we run into is a lot of small IT companies that are literally one person.
Yeah.
And that's what I used
That's
to
a
have.
whole other part of the
Yes.
spectrum,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yes.
and that it always worried me because what if something happens to that person? I've got a whole law firm that needs to run,
And
it
your
needs to-
SOL,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
You know, what happens if he wants to go on vacation?
yeah,
No.
yeah.
Lord
No,
forbid
you're
that
not
IT guy
allowed
takes a
to.
vacation, okay? But, that's, like you said, it's two ends of the same coin is, you've got, in these areas, a lot of one-man shops, that maybe, fit like the old vibe of like computer repair guy back in the 90s and early 2000s or, that have been around that long. And then you have like large, companies that, are just acquiring smaller companies and churning them through.
And those large companies, a lot of times they don't even actually have anybody local.
No.
So if they have an issue that needs local service, they put a bid out, and just random people will bid to do that job. And so you don't know who's showing up at your
Subcontract.
office.
Yeah.
You don't have a relationship with them because you've never seen them before. So
It is rough.
yeah, yeah.
It's a
And
rough.
that's
it's-
what we've seen a lot, especially with people that have their IT come from, I don't know, other places. Like we
The
have
big national.
people in Asheboro that have IT from like Atlanta or like LA.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous that
It's crazy.
That is something that ends up happening, which at the end of the day is just kind of something that like it just happens as a result of people not knowing that there might be a better option for them. Now, obviously, we are not the best option for a company with 500 employees at this current moment. We would have to do some figuring out if we want to do something like that. But medium, small businesses, I mean, I think
I think
that's
that
where
is
we're
our
at.
ideal.
Yeah.
And like I said, once you get to for people that don't know this business, a lot of times you get to a certain size, it tends to just make sense to hire internal, right? You've got 500 plus employees. You need, 40 hours a
Probably
week,
cheaper and
8
more
to
effective.
5, constant support on site. Then you're leaning towards, the most we could help you with is code management. There's a lot of companies out there that may need expertise. They've got the desktop guys. They've got guys that can handle the on-hand stuff, but they may need specific expertise that we can offer, and that's usually a co-managed relationship. But that's not very common in a small Randolph County. You're not going to really see that as often, but especially in larger areas like Charlotte, you see a lot of that. I mean, it's very interesting, because we made a lot of changes. And as IT is a forever revolving door. No day is the same as yesterday. Technology changes, the business changes with it. Just like cybersecurity is at the forefront of a lot of our business. It is always, the key talking point in a lot of conversations when we are meeting with new potential clients is, they're worried about security because all they see on the news is cybersecurity. All they see here, with, all these types of incidents, people getting hacked, data getting exposed, just and a third. Not to mention all of the threats to local, machines, local networks have been. So for us, it's been at the forefront of what we consider important. So yeah, it is interesting, and like I said, with small businesses, that's also something that tends to get overlooked. With small businesses, they always think there are bigger fish out there than me. They'll never. I mean, we've been fine all these years.
That is wrong.
That is incorrect.
That's very wrong. Be very careful.
But that is generally the thought that, in conversation, we have these real conversations with people that own small businesses where they, say, I've been fine for 5 years, man. I've never had a problem.
Bad mindset. Don't do that.
They're like, why, in their head, they're like, why spend all this money or, doing like having proper network equipment or, implementing proper systems when nothing's ever happened to me.
Yeah.
But for us, we always see the opposite.
Yeah, because we see the problems when
Yes.
they haven't had their stuff together, and then somebody clicks on an email. Next thing you know, their system's compromised,
And now they're calling us.
Yeah, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
Yes.
Yeah, that was good.
Yes.
That was good. Yeah.
And as a IT company, you do struggle with that a little bit. I don't know. It may apply to other service businesses, but for us, we are always the extra expense. For us, we're always like one step out of the door for some businesses because when times aren't always great in the business. We can all agree, like, financially things happen. It's just how business, small, especially our niche small businesses work. Things happen, priorities change. And next, they're deciding what has to go. And a lot of times people do decide, I'll just let that go. I'll let that service go. And, I may take that on as the business owner myself to save the business money. So a lot of times people just opt.
Yeah.
And then, one thing leads to another, and something happens or something doesn't happen. And now they're growing rapidly. Now they're experiencing rapid growth. Oh, we've got all these people coming in. A lot of times we get calls saying, hey, I've had this business, for 10 plus years. We're starting blowing up. We're hiring all of these new employees. I'm concerned with how my current system is. Is this going to be scalable to handle my business as it grows?
Which are questions that we can definitely answer.
That's right.
Right,
That's our
That's right.
expertise.
That's right.
In terms of, desktops, desktop infrastructure, your networking, your cloud infrastructure, as things have drastically changed there. Everyone's going to the cloud. All your applications, finances, all that stuff is usually in the cloud. How does that look? Does that work for our business? How does that look long term? These are questions that people often start to ask as they experience growth at their business. And a lot of times we end up having these conversations with them where we're like, it's either you do it now or you do it later.
Yeah.
If you do it now,
do it before.
do it
Yes.
before you get too big, because
Yep.
you start doing, bringing us in to do projects where, migrating all these migrating data. We're migrating, it's better to migrate to a new platform when you have 3 users versus when you have 45. Because at least you already have the system in place ahead of time so that you can scale with the growth.
Yeah.
If you put it off too long,
It's expensive.
it gets
and hard.
expensive.
Yeah.
So, having these are real life conversations that we have with a lot of people. But for us, it's always just trying to make sure they understand. From our perspective, we tell people all the time, we have these conversations often. So for us, we already know. We already know what's going to happen.
People don't know.
This may be your first time having this conversation, but we've had it plenty of time.
And that's what social media is for,
Yes.
to get this message out there.
Yes, yes.
It's so important.
Yes.
So important.
So, Ken, did you have anything else on the list of what we needed to discuss, or how we kind of covered all the topics?
I think we've gone over
'Cause
everything.
I was thinking about one last question for everybody to answer. Something that's always on my mind lately is how is AI going to affect the world?
Oh,
and
what a question.
I know it's a
What a
huge
question.
question, and ultimately none of us know the answer. But it's one of those things I think about it all the time, and you look at the news, people say it's all hype, and then that's going to be a game changer, and I do believe it's going to substantially change the world.
My take on this, I'm 18. I don't know anything. I've never lived through a recession. I don't know. But as of current, it seems as if it's getting to a point, and AI is extraordinarily useful. I use it in my day-to-day workflow and everything. It's a very handy tool to have. It's like having a personal assistant at all times. I use it for if I don't know how to do something in DaVinci Resolve when I'm editing, or if I need help organizing all of my blurb, stuff for ideas for content into one document. That's great. I use it to help me study for school. I have AP exams in a week that I need to study for, and it helps a lot. But there's always something on the back end that makes it to where it's not always going to be feasible, and that is the use of computer hardware and data centers, and the exponential growth that these companies have seen of buying computer parts, building these data centers, getting ready for this AI boom, when it might not actually happen, which would be horrible, and our economy would not feel so great, which is my worry as a new adult, I guess. I have 4 years until I'm really an adult, and I'm out of college, but after that, I don't know how the landscape's going to look, but to me, it's a little scary. It's very useful.
Especially the job market.
Yeah,
for younger kids,
Yeah.
Shout out to Terry Floyd, by the way, which we plan on having him come on, and he does custom AI software. Well, he utilizes AI to create custom software for businesses to help them save money. But we plan to have him come on and talk about it because I think it'd be very interesting for people to see from his perspective, from someone who is a professional within that field, like what his thoughts are.
Yeah, and I think eye-opening for a lot of business owners about what can be done.
Right. I think people in these areas,
relatively, not as expensive probably as people think it is too.
For now.
But I always, at the Randolph Room, they have old photos of Asheboro, downtown Asheboro, with the dirt roads. And I always think about, you imagine that first car you've ever seen in your life riding down the street, and there's horses and buggies, and then there's a car, and you can't imagine what that car and that technology,
that one moment,
and what what it's going to look like, 50, 30, 40 years from then. Highways everywhere, car lifestyle in America, and I think that's where we're at. I think nobody knows, and like when they talk about Congress trying to legislate, I'm like, these guys don't know what Facebook is. They're not going to be able to, and we don't know what AI is going to be. We don't even know how to regulate it.
So how do you regulate?
Yeah,
that?
It's
how
also
do you regulate something you don't know anything about?
Yeah, and there's competition with other countries, so we don't want to stop the progress. We don't want to hinder ourselves and fall behind. So
it's a new age of technology.
And I tell folks this all the time. Like, growing up, I always felt like I kind of saw the path of development in society and culture and everything. And like, we're kind of getting better over time and moving in a sort of up direction. But now I feel like I have no idea where we're going to go. I honestly, it's just topsy turvy. I truly believe the economy part of things is going to be completely different. But I don't know how. Like, when 30-40% of the jobs are gone, what in the world do we do?
Mine's
We're all
mostly
plumbers.
safe, though.
We're all going to be plumbers.
I was wondering, what are you planning on majoring in?
So I plan on majoring in information science,
right.
And it's a very easy major. It's 43 credit hours at UNC. It's super easy. So it lets you double major. So I can major in either business or media journalism.
Gotcha.
So I'll have a nice, good foundation
That'd be
to do
awesome.
whatever AI doesn't take.
Are you thinking about staying in like this line of work? Like,
I don't know. I enjoy this.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure what I want to do yet.
Yeah.
This is something that I've been thinking about. I mostly enjoy this. This has been super fun for me in the last, I don't know, I guess 4 months. It's been 4 months.
It has been 4 months.
But that's for me to decide, yet to be TBD, I guess.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah.
And to touch on the AI thing, I think that, my opinion, right? I think we're going to get to a point where I think the bottleneck here is resources. We all talk about, prompt uses 2 water bottles, everyone, has their jokes, but, and these are very real issues. There's a lot of resource utilization. Us in the IT field see a lot of shortages when it comes to chips and memory. Some companies have even opted to add a surcharge to your equipment when we order it, just for chip shortages. So, some equipment, we looked at it yesterday. They've put out $40+ a item in chip shortage fees.
Okay.
So it is very real. Where does this end up? A lot of people, I think, and I worry that a lot of people that don't embrace it and don't grow with it, or know how to use it to better their job and their life, I feel like they may get left behind. And I think you may grow to regret the decision of not in educating yourself on it early on. I talked to Terry about this a few weeks ago, and, the worry is that, eventually when AI takes, the thought is AI may take, a lot of jobs in the data entry fields or a lot of white collar jobs. Those jobs in development and low and mid-level development have completely went away for a lot of people, and this is real life. So where does it go in the future? It's not gonna stop there. Businesses are gonna continue to see, where can AI replace my labor?
Absolutely.
So we have no clue who's next.
Elon's talking about, cranking out 1 million robots a year, I think, out of the factories, So, I mean, it's.
No. The promises.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
promises.
But the capabilities.
It's gonna
right?
be, that's what I think the development is, everything's accelerating. So it's just gonna be a matter of time,
And
once
it's
they.
especially important as a technology company
And you
Yeah.
can
that we
see
keep
it.
track of this.
Have you
Absolutely.
noticed that they, if anyone hasn't noticed, ChatGPT originally started, it was completely free. Now you can see that there are, restrictions on how many prompts you can use.
Yep.
And the restrictions are getting
Token-based.
tighter and tighter and tighter.
They got to start
And
making money.
They got to start making money. I mean, what was the software Sora went under?
Yep.
Because they were losing so much money.
Yeah.
Because the resources
Disney?
that it takes.
Yeah.
Disney had back to them, I think it was like millions of dollars. Pulled out, Sora went under. They shut it down for good because they weren't making money. And that's where it comes from. The cost is so, it outweighs, because right now we're at a tipping point where people love it because it's free. But wait until you put a price tag behind it.
Oh, yeah.
Are they going to love it then?
People start.
Well, they're like,
Right.
like a
Do I
good drug
need it?
dealer. They're going to get you hooked. And,
And
then
then
they're going to start charging you.
So, wait. They've already made it heavily tokenized, and I think
Yeah.
it's just going to continue in that route.
Yeah.
To where like eventually it's going to get to the point where we might be hiring for developers, and one of the criteria is how well can you utilize
AI.
prompting?
Yeah.
How good are you with prompting?
Yeah.
Then it's going to hurt the bottom line. I mean, if we can hire someone who can achieve the same job utilizing AI in a shorter time period than someone else, they're going to pick that person because that person knows how to utilize AI better than the next guy.
Yep.
So I think that the possibilities of this is like it just can go on forever.
It's something that
Yeah.
that no one knows yet. And
Nope.
Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
something that we all have to be comfortable with, kind of going
Yeah.
into the future here.
Have you ever seen? This is off the subject, but the manufacturing process for some of these advanced chips that's ultraviolet lithography.
I wrote a paper on that.
Did you really?
Have I told you guys this?
No. It is crazy.
I took this class called AP Research.
Yeah.
In high school, it's a high school kind of capstone research program. But I wrote a 30-page paper on why there was a chip shortage during COVID.
Yeah.
I
Is
can
it
show you.
Sweden or Norway or somewhere?
It's kind of complicated.
Yeah.
So
That's
Crazy.
insane.
I will show
Yeah.
you my paper later.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of it. I made a 5 on it
That is
for AP, but
Nice.
yeah,
wild.
it was a wild
Yeah.
year of research that I did. And I did a
And
presentation. on
guys,
it.
this is exactly why we don't talk about tech.
I know everybody else, the audience tuned out. But I was going to say,
I might cut
It's awesome though.
That is awesome.
for the people that are 50 and older that are worried about the generation coming up, did
Okay.
y'all just
I
listen to
don't-
what
I
Ken
don't-
said?
okay.
I
Ken
don't
is
know if I
Ken's
count.
the future.
I'm a little bit of a unicorn. I kind of do a lot of things. Mr. Green actually says that a lot, but I'm a little more driven than a lot of kids my age. But I try my best.
I know this is very completely off the rails. Okay, but have you heard about the Scientology raids?
Oh my goodness, I've seen those. Have you heard about this?
Okay,
So, okay, actually, can we let's close this first. Then we talk about this.
You're going to cut this out.
We're not going to talk about this on camera, but that's fine.
All right.
All I have left is closing. What is Partners in Progress? Business-oriented, small entrepreneurship show. We're in Asheboro. We're going to talk about people in Asheboro. We hope to get the message of Asheboro out to outside of Asheboro and get interesting people on here with interesting stories. Encourage people to follow and share. Obviously, this is new. And if you want to be on here, email me, kshabata@partnerscg.com, and we can see what can work out. Obviously, not everyone.
Like and share. You got to ask for that. You
Yeah,
gotta
like
Like
and
and
share.
share,
the button.
and subscribe and follow.
Yeah,
we're
all
on
that stuff.
Spotify, Apple Music. I don't remember what the Amazon called. I think it's called Audible. We're on YouTube. Obviously, we have a Facebook. We'll be posting clips on Facebook and TikTok and Instagram, and we'll have some stuff on LinkedIn. And we're pretty much everywhere. So
And when it blows up and you want to advertise, give us a call.
yes,
yeah. Sponsored,
we are
there are sponsored
offering
slots right beside
sponsored
King's
slots.
over there.
That's
Yes.
And I'm joking.
right here, right on the shelf.
Yeah.
Here, you have your logo. Yeah, so I
Thanks
think
for
we're all-
joining.
We're all
All
super
right.
excited. Thank you for all for being here. We kind of got a little sidetracked there,
No,
but
it's
that's
good.
all right. That's the point.
Yeah.
This is a fun conversation that we can have. And yeah, so I think that's it.
All right.
So
Thank you,
I'll
Ken.
catch you all later.